Where will Jimmy G be playing quarterback? Where will the handsome Paisano Jimmy Garoppolo play quarterback this upcoming season? Because he's currently under contract with the San Francisco 49ers. He has led the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl in the past and NFC Championship games. But what will he look like this upcoming season? Who will he be playing for? Will the San Francisco 49ers be cutting him or trading him? And with Trey Lance being there, the Niners have told him, you work out different field, don't even come around the team. Now, there's a couple of reports coming out about Jimmy Garoppolo that are not very positive, and I don't know why this would be getting out right now when it seems like we're on the precipice for him going to another team. But Chris Sims on Pro Football Talk alongside Mike Florio had this scathing take about Jimmy Garoppolo as a leader and as a quarterback of an NFL team.
Franchise quarterback, you're all in. It's a 12-month-a-year job. There's no offseason for a franchise quarterback. And apparently there was some dismay that in 2018, after he got his money, he just disappeared until it was time to show up for the offseason program.
I know so many people out there in San Francisco, Kyle couldn't keep track of it. I've heard this from players, ex-coaches there. He goes off the radar all the time. All the time. Nobody can get in contact with him. But his first year in offseason there, that's when I was made aware of it. I'm not going to name the player I was at, but I was at an event, and the player, who is a long-standing player with the 49ers, was like, I can't get the quarterback to call me back. I've called them every day for a month. You hear it from everybody. I've heard it from ex-coaches who have moved on and just gone, yeah, it's weird. You know, the organizations tried to reach out to him times and explain things to him, and they can't get a hold of him, to the point where I think they've had to, like, drive to his house and knock on the door and be like, hello, are you alive? Are you there? So, yeah, I mean, I think that's why there's the 49er fan base that wants, you know, why are we getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo? I think there's more than just the play on the field at hand here. And, yeah, I think a lot of the NFL knows these stories a little bit. And I think that's why maybe, you know, we've had some teams kind of drag their feet and not sure if they really want to go all in on the Jimmy Garoppolo trade.
So that knucklehead right there, that goofball was Chris Sims. And obviously we know Chris Sims is a former NFL quarterback, son of
Phil Sims.
Phil Sims, who's been in the media game his whole life. Chris Sims, formerly of Bleacher Report. Now he's with NBC and Pro Football Talk and Football Night in America. He's well known because he's best friends with Kyle Shanahan.
College roommates,
College roommates with Kyle Shanahan. And that's why he led off his statement with saying, I know so many people over there, Kyle couldn't keep track of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and say it's not just from his direct best friend, who is now the head coach of the team in which Jimmy G plays for. He's getting his information from other people as well. I don't know who's just openly talking to Chris Sims about what's going on with Jimmy G on a regular basis, but we don't know who Chris Sims knows. We have no idea what it is. Could be from Kyle, though, is what some people are thinking and automatically assuming when Chris Sims talks about the Niners situation, might be coming from Kyle. He's clearly saying it did not. So we just have to take him for his word that it did not come from Kyle. Now, it is tough to hear something like this and take it that serious because we have had somebody on our show who's a former president of a baseball team, David Sampson. And this is literally what Sampson said. Now, Marlins and baseball is a different league, different sport. This is what he had to say about the end of a run for some guys whenever it comes to a team and how they're going to handle business. I've been told that the MLB will float out a proposal that they haven't officially made yet to the media, see how the people respond, and then they're like, okay, good, this one's fucking good, let's write it down, we'll send this over as an actual proposal. Is that something that the MLB has done for a long, long time now? Is that kind of the move?
So what we would do is we would float, when we wanted to sign a player, we would float it out there to see what sort of reaction we get to a certain player, whether it may move the revenue needle. If we were going to trade a player, we would start floating out, listen, this may not be the best teammate. We may have a clubhouse issue, so we could try to ease the pain when we're making a trade because of money. When we're doing some sort of promotion.
So, like, that is, it's hard not to just immediately think of that now anytime any bad story gets kind of run about a quarterback that we thought was like the ideal model teammate. I've not heard any of this. Aside from him potentially being on the tabloids dating porn stars.
Right.
Don't really know.
Sorry about it.
Sorry about it, says Jimmy. We don't really know anything about Jimmy off the field. Now, this close to his departure with a new quarterback on the horizon for the Niners, there's this story being released about how it's not just on field, it's also off field stuff. That's hard for me to believe, I think. Honestly, it is. So we said, you know what we need to do? Let's go ahead and call somebody that might have a little bit more information. Okay. Let's go ahead and call somebody that has boots on the ground in the San Francisco market. Beat writer, this isn't Feel the Beat for the San Francisco 49ers. But this is not this is not just anybody. This is at Lombardi himself. Ladies and gentlemen, David Lombardi.
Yeah, David!
What's up, dude?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Hey, hey, thank you so much for joining us. This is not Feel the Beat, so we're going to have to get you into that segment at least one time. This is just conversation right now. Chris Sims had an entire take about how he knows a lot of people in the San Francisco 49ers organization, not just Kyle Shanahan. He's college roommates with Kyle Shanahan. I assume he's been around the Niners organization, knows a lot of best friends of yours. So let's just take him for his word that this didn't come from Kyle Shanahan. But he talked about how, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo's a basically bad teammate, bad leader, not around much, can't find him. He disappears out of nowhere. Then we played a David Sampson thing, MLB president. He said they would leak bad information about a player they're about to trade so that the fans can get a little bit more on board with potential departure of player. What is this story, and how come you, covering the Niners, haven't told us about this? Yeah. Jimmy G is not a pro quarterback, not an NFL quarterback. What is real, what is not in this entire Jimmy G saga about him just disappearing and not being a leader or whatever? This has come out of nowhere for us. Are we wrong?
Yeah, I don't think it's come out of nowhere. George Kittle, for example, has been joking for a couple years that Jimmy G is really hard to get a hold of in the offseason. You go back to some of his old social media posts, there's a picture of George sitting next to Jimmy's locker showing him something on a phone, and George captions it saying, "I'm showing Jimmy how to use the new iOS because apparently he doesn't know how to use his phone. Doesn't get back to me for like a lot of time over the course of the offseason." But this was like a joking matter. And Jimmy had always, you know, reported to the first day of OTAs, phase one, whatever you want to call it. And I will add that in 2020 in the offseason, they all met in Nashville and worked out, a lot of the star players. And supposedly Jimmy was the ringleader. So, those close to the team, this is like not surprising. The fact that it's being made into something this big is surprising, if that makes sense. But we've had the tea leaves already ahead of time.
So he's made it to every OTAs. He, I guess, put together a skill workout in Nashville, which is where Kittle lives, I assume, right? Isn't that where Kittle has a house? So you're saying, although this is potentially true, that there are moments of the year where Jimmy G is impossible to get a hold of. Who knows what he's in?
Yeah. Shame.
Who knows?
We know what I mean, George has this running joke, Jimmy won't text me back. And that's been a running joke since like 2017. George was a rookie in 2017. Jimmy joined the 49ers in 2017. So it's not like foreign. I've heard these rumors before, but now they're turned into something that's being used to negatively frame Garoppolo as opposed as a joke.
And which it has been kind of just a joke for a long time. Now, do you think other NFL teams are worried about this joke that is being made into something, and that's why nobody has maybe offered up a big-time trade or had as much interest as we could think, aside from the shoulder injury that has just got healed up, I guess?
No, listen, this is the way I look at it. The offseason, we saw the shoulder injury obviously cool the trade market. But now the 49ers are between a rock and a hard place because after August 30th, or I guess on September 10th is the exact date, Jimmy Garoppolo's contract is going to become guaranteed if he stays with the 49ers, and they obviously want the cap savings. So all these prospective teams, you know, if there's somebody interested in Jimmy Garoppolo, knows that the 49ers are probably going to have to release him. And probably are going to release him within just a couple of weeks. So now it's this waiting game, and I don't think the 49ers will be able to trade him unless somebody gets really desperate, right, and they want a quarterback in their camp right now. So I think the lack of a trade has more to do with just the market dynamics. First it was the injury, and now it was the fact that they're up against the corner, and they're probably going to have to release him.